Listen, you guys have your way of looking at things, and I have my way of looking at things. I'm not saying you guys are wrong, but...
Did you beat Chain of Memories?
Yeah, no.
Then are we on even ground?
Okay, boys. Okay, shut the fuck up. Hey.
Fine.
We ready to start? You guys ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Are you guys ready?
Who
Yes?
wants to
Are you
introduce
pouting? I am.
Oh, you're in.
Yes. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Weekly Weeb, the show that happens once a week every some odd weeks. I am Dakota, this is Brandon, and this is unimportant. Anyways,
His name is
this is Lawrence.
Are you disrespecting him for some reason you're not saying on camera?
No, this is not about me. Today we are talking about the Rising of the Shield Hero, which is a new anime that is currently on episode 8 as of this week.
It is the new seasonal isekai that people are going to talk about, and then talk about the waifus, but forget about the story in about 3 years.
Yes, and to start off talking waifus, I cannot stand the way the anime portrays Raftalia.
How's she different?
Because, okay, I'm reading the manga. I'm a fan of, like, watching the manga, or reading the manga or anything. Shut up. Reading the manga instead of watching the anime
I think
sometimes.
you're better than me?
No, I don't! This is not elitism. Usually, I very much enjoy doing both. But in this case, they're so vastly different that it really just bothers me. In the manga, both Raftalia and Philo are both, like, nicer to each other. Like, they get along a whole lot more, and Raftalia's not as thirsty for Naofumi.
Really?
Yes.
I thought that was, like, her whole character.
No, it's so upsetting, because she has a bit more dimension in the manga, but it feels like they've really just, made her waifu. That's it. That just feels like all she is.
We can really sell those figures if we make her a waifu.
Exactly.
So that's basically what it was. These fat weebs are gonna fawn over this and loot her. Even though she was looking like a 10-year-old in episode 2, they were just like, we're gonna loot her anyway.
But let me put this back on the rails a bit so we're not just talking about waifus the whole time. Sorry to cut you off. But I thought something that was really interesting was, how they have demi-humans in here, right? Usually whenever there's a demi-human that's like the main like focus of an anime, it's a fox. Part fox. But in this case, it's a raccoon. Like, that is an interesting choice.
There's no difference.
Yes, there is.
One has different ears and a different tail.
There is so much difference.
Is there though?
Whenever you look at the actual animals, a fox is like sleek and more feminine looking or whatever, but a raccoon is usually not.
Are you trying to say that Raftalia, the only reason people call her as like thick is because she's a raccoon?
Maybe.
It sounds like the author fetishizing on the fact that people like fox girls, cat girls famously, and stuff like that. I don't know. And also the integration of a lolly chicken chick, but this time they kind of diverge because when she's a chicken, she's a fat ass chicken, but she's still a little lolly girl.
Yeah, and she's somehow angelic looking because her wings suddenly look like angel wings.
Before and after, guys. Before and after. We've just been talking about waifus and Raftalia. Can we talk about like story differences?
Yes, let's go with the story. Do you want to talk about the difference between the story, the manga, and the anime, or do you just want to talk about in general, like it's an online game, like it's the way it tackled online games? Because right now the only online games that I know of are Log Horizon and Sword Art Online. Those are the only like online gameplay like you've been taken to another like online game world, except for now for me it's a book, but for the others it's a video game. Mm-hmm. So in this, like, they have like an interactive little like button or whatever that they interact with, but other than that it's not super telling that it's a video game, other than the fact that the other heroes think it's treat it like a video game. Mm-hmm. Like from our perspective, seeing Naofumi, it's straight up, oh, this is just living in a whole nother world. Because we barely saw anything of the actual world that he came from anyways.
Yeah, we just heard some weird dialogue that was apparently left out of this adaptation that was talked more about in the light novel or manga. When he was like, I saved my brother. It's like, where'd you save your brother from? It's like,
yes, I remember that. They do. And also, whenever they have a spin-off series, actually, and they mention it in the manga, but I don't know if they mention it in the anime. I don't remember. But actually, the other three heroes, in their previous world, they were killed. They were murdered in order to be brought here. And in a spin-off series with the spear hero, it actually starts right off the bat with him, like, there's blood everywhere, and he's like, did I die? I thought I died. And then coming into this world. I didn't read any further because I was looking for Shield Hero. I don't care about Spear Hero. But, yeah.
Did not know that.
I also did not know that.
That's
dark.
Yeah, I mean, Spear Hero is still an idiot, but I mean...
It is so bad.
Should we talk about, like, why we think he's an idiot?
Yes.
Like, for people, like...
That's what I was going to go into.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's fine. So, whenever we were here with one of our friends, Clayton, watching, he said that he absolutely hated Shield Hero because he just suddenly flipped his switch and started acting like almost a completely different person from the beginning. And everyone loves Spear Hero. He's, blonde, long hair, good-looking male or whatever. He seems to be the leader of the other heroes. So, I feel like I'm doing all the talking.
No, I don't see how... I just have a problem thinking, like, unless the characters go right out and say that this character is good looking, I just see them like, oh, you're just 2D images. Like, I can't really find any of them. Even, like, Raftalia and stuff. I know I joke about 2D women are better than 3D women, but I just... Anytime they try to waifu up a anime character, I'm just like, how do you guys, like... do your thing to this. Same thing was like when they were like, oh, he's so dreamy.
You're getting distracted from the main topic. You keep going back to waifus. We're trying to talk about the differences in characters in males, and I mentioned offhandedly that he was attractive because the princess is going after him so hard.
After episode 3, it just becomes waifu wars.
That's basically what it is. And it's so sad because the manga has such an involved story. And I really hope that they tell more of what's going on in the world and the stuff that's happening with the fishers and the monsters and stuff like that. Because there's so much more to explore.
Because this is a bit of a spoiler a little bit, but like, not for past episode 8, but like they added a filler half of an episode. Where they went to the hot springs.
Yeah, and in the manga, I checked back, and they only mentioned the hot spring. They said there was a hot spring, like, town nearby, but there was none that I remember of them going.
So is there a reason why Raftalia is, like, she's mentally 10 years old, right? Why is she acting in, like... I know in the hot springs filler arc, she was like... Oh, we can't kiss, Naofumi. Like, if we kiss, I'll get pregnant. She's like that stupid. She doesn't know about like sexuality in that way, but she openly tries to use her boobs to try to get his attention. In the like 2 episodes before, it's so weird how this anime is. I'm still interested in the story.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mentioned the story, but I feel like really like I said, the anime is like trying to play on, the waifu material, chasing desperately after the main character. Because in the manga, like, she isn't that thirsty. And my thing with, she is a demi-human, and they do explain that whenever she levels up, she, like, gets, I guess, her body ages to, like, compensate. And, like, yeah, while she is still kind of a child... mentally, I think that she's kind of like, it's kind of an accelerated growth, like even in her brain, because while she has that body, like she has to start thinking about these other things, because I would assume the body would follow suit with some of that stuff. And yeah, she's a child, but she has no formal like teaching about these kind of things. She doesn't have her parents to like say, hey, like these are what these things are, or however children find out whenever they're not taught sex ed in school.
Mm-hmm. It's just a little weird to see it in action. Because they play it off as cutesy, but I'm just like, oh no! It's like, I can't think of any other series where Naofumi was like, if anything, he's like asexual. Like, he just is not in it right now.
See,
He's not in it to win it.
I don't agree with that. I think he's just so focused on protecting these girls, and he's, basically raised them. Like, he took them in from, like, a young age, so he just looks at them as daughters. Like, He's just dense to the fact that they are, in fact, female.
Also, I think he's afraid of women after the inciting
That
incidents
too,
of the
obviously.
series.
That too, obviously. But still, like, I wouldn't go as far as say he's asexual.
Did you hear that there was like a controversy around the inciting incident of the series where his first party member in this new world ends up accusing him of rape?
Mm-hmm.
And that was a big deal, apparently. Like it was a lot smaller than last season's Goblin Slayer,
Mm-hmm.
where there was a rape scene and like a complete rape scene in that. But in this one, it was like a woman accusing a man of rape, and in this matriarchy, it's kind of played like as a role reversal because they all believed the accuser. Because I believe because it's a matriarchy. If this was a patriarchy and like it was the same situation, then the man would just be believed and it would just be victim blaming for the princess. But I kind of like how the matriarchy plot point kind of makes it easier to believe that all these people would like side with her so blindly without any evidence at all.
I mean, I don't think it's necessarily all that either, though. Like, yeah, it's cool that you're thinking of it like that, but also, he just appears in this world. That's their princess. Like, they have a reason. Why would she lie, like, in their minds? Cool. And she's using that. And I don't know if I don't think it's been addressed in the anime yet, but I know in the manga, she's always been a troublemaker. But still, like, this is their king and their princess, like, and they have the other heroes on their side because she ran to him and he blindly believed her, which is him thinking.
Well, my thing is, it's like, I don't know, it's either that they're so stupid. Like, I had to pause and go, like, that's the only time in the series where I've been like, this is dumb. Like, it's explained later in the series where it's just like, I guess all the civilians are just purposely treating the shield hero like a dick.
Well, he doesn't have the best, like, reputation either. Like, historically, whenever they've had other heroes, like, in this society, this kingdom, they enslave like demi-humans and stuff like that, like a kind of prejudice, while the shield hero is typically known as being somebody who, like, he made a whole kingdom for demi-humans. So, like, that on that alone, like, they're already like, okay, he doesn't fit with our moral, like, ideas and stuff like that. And I know in the anime they did say, oh, they're trying to fight the slave trade, but do you really believe that? Like, they're just saying that for political reasons. But
I thought maybe the matriarchy might have something to do with that partially because, like, I'm just thinking role reversals was everything, but obviously they kind of feel like they kind of dropped that halfway through the anime series so far, at least. They kind of brought it up a few times in the earlier episodes, yeah.
Okay, because in the manga you meet the queen, and it is a matriarchy. She has more power than the king, like.
Which I think is cool.
I really want you guys to read the manga or something, because what they do, what happens later, it's so good. It's so good.
I'll wait for the anime adaptation.
I'll wait for the anime if it keeps up steam like this and stuff like that, because it may not even get a second season. Like, yeah, that happens sometimes. I mean, it's on episode 8, so we should get at least 13 solid episodes, but that's a lot of ground to cover. But
the season is 26.
Is it 26?
Yeah, it's 26
okay, cool.
Episodes.
Then yeah, they should get to it. So.
Yeah. I don't know how far they'll catch up to the ongoing manga because I'm assuming it's still ongoing.
It's only on chapter 52, which is actually not.
They'll probably be able to catch up. At that point.
Yeah. It's probably more the light novel they'd have to catch up to. But we're kind of, Is there anything else that you guys wanted to bring up about Shield Hero? Any topics you wanted to tackle that we haven't yet?
I'm hoping, because at the time of recording this, I believe we're on episode 8.
Yes, we are.
It needs a kick in the pants. Like, I feel like the first 3 episodes are so strong, and hopefully they're building up to the end. It's like you've read the manga, so I know you know. But it's right now. I'm giving it more slack. Like, but I can see shows of similar premise that I just drop immediately. But I feel like the edgy factor is what gives this isekai some like, like at the end of the day, you've seen these tropes before. You've seen them, but it has an edgier twist to them. which is what keeps me running. It's like, whoa, we got an isekai that isn't afraid to talk about slavery and racism and rape allegations. And I'm like, well, this is different. I was expecting like, oh, a guy comes in world, gets OP super quick, even though he's seen as the weaker hero, but then all this gets thrown in. But I will say there's some toxic things that get added in there, like toxic femininity, in my opinion.
And I think mostly that's just to try and sell it and make it like, sell to the people that watch anime, make it kind of similar, follow a certain trope and storyline so that it's still relatable enough that it can be one of those popular things. And I hate that they feel like that the story's not strong enough that they don't. I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. I'm sad that they think that the story isn't strong enough and that they have to throw in those like demeaning things.
And also they're making the main character, I know this like compared to the manga, like they're making Afumi less of an edgy person. He's more like kind of like a bitter hero. Like he'll do, as opposed to like, what is it, when Raphtalia loses the slave crest, apparently in the manga, now Fumi like tells her you need to get another one on, right? Like tells her like, hey, you need to get. I don't know if that was just a light novel. I think it might have been.
It might have been the light novel because I don't recollect that happening, but it did happen differently. But I literally binged read, so I don't retain the information, which sucks. But
basically, they kind of made it to where he's not like, are you sure you want this in the anime? Mm-hmm. And then for some reason, Raphtalia in the anime is just like, yes, I want a new slave crest. And then like shows him like her like tries to like show the cleavage, and I was like, the fuck. Yeah. It's like I didn't ask for this. Get back to the edgy stuff, man.
Yeah, I feel like that she is definitely a more defined character within the manga. So I hope that maybe in later episodes they'll try and stick more to that, because it is, it is interesting and favorable. Like you don't have to make her a drooling idiot over a male to get people to watch.
My biggest, the only thing I'm scared of with this anime is that it's going to become a mini harem, and I'm not going to be happy about it.
Yeah, I was honestly, whenever I was reading the manga, I was worried about that for a minute, but so far it's just still... It's still those two, so we should be.
But I feel like we know that Philo's not best girl. She's not gonna win either.
I don't know. She does. Oh God, I don't want to spoil stuff. I don't want to spoil stuff.
She becomes a bigger girl?
No. She doesn't get older or anything. But, oh my God, you know how she's the queen, right?
Yeah.
You meet the first queen.
Oh.
And she's also a lolly.
I'm imagining.
She's also a lolly.
I'm sorry. I'm not getting jaded to anime on the Weekly Weeb here, but sometimes I look at these series and I'm like, come on. She didn't have to do this. Where's my Steins Gate? Where's my other show?
Oh God, yes, Steins Gate.
What's up with these toxic isekais and big titty women I don't want to see?
Where's the story?
Where's the story?
Where's the intriguing, in-depth story? All right. Well, on that closing rant, I would like to thank you guys for joining us, and I really recommend that you either read the manga or watch the anime. They're both good. The art style is nice and appealing. One of my friends, actually, who's really finicky about anime, she said that she was into it for the art style, so... But...
before we end this...
Yes.
Maybe this could be cut out, but what are some other shows this season we'd recommend alongside Shield Hero?
Well, I don't usually... It's just because you guys have talked about it so much that I've really gotten into Shield Hero, because usually I would wait until it's finished so I could binge it all in one go and know for sure that, like, I love it. Of course, I don't really remember the episodes that well that way, but I just indulge. Anyways, I mean... Would you recommend How Not to Summon a Demon Lord?
Oh no, I wouldn't. I mean, maybe if you're like ball-bustingly drunk and also you're with friends, like you better be knocked out because that show is just atrocious. Like,
what other anime?
Mob Psycho.
Mob Psycho? Oh, the new season?
Mob
See,
Psycho.
with... Okay, we're not going to start a conversation about a whole nother thing. What, do you want to
I was just going to recommend that one. I thought you were about to trash Mob Psycho.
I was, kinda, because I haven't even finished the first season. I watched literally like 3 or 4 episodes, and it has potential, it's good, but it didn't keep me. It didn't keep me. What other...
Mob Psycho. Ooh-wee. Okay, we're done.
Okay,
No,
is there any... what are some more
That time
new?
I got reincarnated as a slime.
Now that.
I've heard that's
Finally,
good.
Lauren says
But-
something.
I know, like,
The
you've
whole
been
time,
sitting here the
yeah.
whole time. I felt bad whenever I realized that I was wrapping up. I was like, Lawrence hasn't said anything.
Lawrence has a quote he wants to give him the talking key, apparently. We're going to have to start doing that, the talking key.
Yes.
No one talks until they're past the key.
Oh, well, I've had it the whole time, so.
Exactly.
Me and Brandon had a nice conversation here. Okay, go ahead.
But I would recommend That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. It's also a series about a guy who gets sent to another world because he dies. But he gets born into this world as a slime. And as the anime goes on, he just becomes the biggest OP person in the world. But it's really fun to watch.
Harem-y? Because
No.
it's so harem-y. It looked harem-y.
From what I've he's not really interested in any women, but I mean,
there's now for me.
there, like, when I watched the few episodes I watched, there were these 2 girls who were kind of fighting for his attention.
There's a scene in that show, Lawrence, you may have forgot, where he's a slime ball in between 3 pair of titties.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, so if you have any suggestions for what we should do next time, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. And thank you all for joining me. You too as well. I know it's pretty late at night, but yeah. Bye. What are you guys doing? You guys are stressing me out.
You walk away, you don't hear me say, please.